Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Still not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Maybe one day. Afternoon. Today is the 24th of March and this is part 5 of a Slightly Shambolic Shuffle around the 2023 Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show here at the NEC in Birmingham. So this is the CCA auction. We've been here quite a long time. There are a lot of cars for sale and we've been filming lots of them. So we'll finish off in here, then we'll go outside, probably down to Hall 5 after this. I might even get some lunch, which would be nice. So first of all, it's a Toyota Sora here, 1991. I think this was the very first Lexus SC Coupe as well. We didn't get either in this country. So all of these over here will have been imported. £79,000. I wonder if this has got the weird sat-nav in it. Maybe it's open, maybe it's not. Yes, it is. Let's take a look. Be careful not to sit on that seat because they don't want to damage it. Someone's spent ages cleaning this, haven't they? Yes, it looks like it's got the sat-nav in it. And a tape deck. And oh, it smells quite nice actually, viewers. I'd like to have a go at one of these actually. I think it would be nice. But whether that will happen or not, I don't know. Got some Subaru Imprezas Mark 1 action here. Got the hatchback, which looks like a little estate, of course, first. It's a Sport 2000. This is not the turbo then. The WRX models in this country, for the first generation ones, were called the Turbo 2000. So yeah, £79,000. It's very nice. It's not the version people sort of want, but it looks like it, which is sort of the main thing, I suppose. It's a bit cheaper. In fact, let's have a look at this Impreza 2000 Turbo Catalunya Special Edition. I imagine they were brought this out to commemorate their victory in the Catalunya Rally. 105 or 200, 10 to £12,000. Now the paint on this isn't as good as that red one, not by any means, but obviously that's for turbo and this one's not, so this will be worth more money. And if this is open, yes, frameless doors and everything. It's also a car I'd quite like to have a go in, viewers. I don't know whether it's going to be ever possible, but I would like it. As you can see, Turbo 2000 is on the back. Later, of course, called VWRX STI. And then its main rival in the market, although the later version of it, because this is an Evo 9, was this Mitsubishi Lancer. This is a 2007, possibly. That plate, of course, could be different from a year. It's a personal plate, rear wiper on a saloon, which is what we like to see. Just be careful we don't scratch anything here, viewers. Fortunately my bag's not on me, so it's good, I can't do that. It actually is a 2007 as well. So 20 to £25,000. I have driven an Evolution 10. The FQ360 is its own name because it had a 360 horsepower engine. I'm sure that's pretty quick too. More up my street though perhaps is this 1995 Rover 800 Vitesse Sport. Does this have the turbo engine, viewers? Because if it does, this is the sort of thing that we like very much indeed. And oh, it's open. Now I'm the sort of person who prefers the Sterling, but I mean this will do, won't it? Well, I think it is the turbo, viz, because it's got a boost cage. Yes, please. Oh. I've got quite a few people I know who are quite interested in what happens to this one. Maybe some of them will bid on it or something, but I'm not surprised they're interested, because that is a very special car indeed. Very nice 1972 Volvo 1800 ES. It says P1800, but I think they dropped the P moniker by now. I think it was just called the 1800 ES. When the 480 came out in 1986, they also called it the 480 ES in tribute to this. The E, of course, is for injection, and the S is for Sweden, but together, we'll see it's this glass hatch, which is a remarkable car. It's amazing that, you know, these were made so late into the production life of this design. These came out in 61, and this is a 72. Of course, if you want to see one of these used in an old ITC series, it's used in the protectors. Yeah, no P here, just 1800. I wonder how you actually open this. Do you twist that or something? Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's great. And it stays there as well. So just twist that around. There we go. I want one now, viewers. Better start saving up. Mercedes-Benz S-Class here. Got to be careful with these. This S320, and we can't talk about it anyway because we don't talk about diesels on this channel. Thanks to the Mayor of London and his friends all around the country, including the chap who leads the Birmingham Council. We're not too far from the Birmingham clean air zone here, are we, viewers? Anyway, let's get back to some things we can talk about. The Triumph TR3. That looks pretty special, doesn't it? It's a 57. Estimate between £20,000 and £25,000. Not much in the way of seating comfort, but that's not really the point of it. And there we go, nice sort of cream colour. Here we go, the Lotus. I think this is an XL actually. This one an XL, and it's got, I believe, a beige leather interior. Yes, it has, and it's got wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers, as I've probably said about 15 times already. Yeah, it's an 89 XL SE. Yeah, that is rather nice, isn't it, viewers? Then we've got Alpha 2000 Berliner. It's rare to see these in right-hand drive. Sort of similar to the Giulia Saloon, but a little bit bigger. Yeah, 1973, exceptional example. Ample power from 130 brake horsepower twin cam engine. Yes, indeed. I'd sum that up in the same way myself, I think. 2003 BMW M3 convertible E46, supplied with the hardtop and 6-speed manual. Excellent. Ooh, and another Jaguar XK. This is the second generation one. Personal plate, so I have to look at the information sheet to tell me exactly what year this is. It's the XK8 4.2. Estimate between £10,000 and £12,000. Maserati. This is the 2008 Gran Turismo S. £26,000. Oh, another fast Audi. We saw an S6 earlier on. It was the first type, the C4 shape. This is the C5 shape from 2003. It's the RS6, so it's got even more power. 450 horsepower. Gosh, I bet this thing eats tyres. It's very purposeful looking, isn't it? Very mean. Mercedes-Benz C-Class. What's this doing here? It's a special one or something. C350 AMG Sport Saloon. It's not as special as I thought it was, but never mind, it looks quite nice. Oh, another Mini 35, 1994. I think these were Mark 6 Minis, these. The Mark 7 was the very last one, the airbag. This has got no airbag. It looks quite nice. What's the estimate on this? Is it about 14,000 or something? 15 to 18, almost there, viewers. Right, let's now leave the auction because we filmed absolutely everything in here. Right, viewers, the only way we're going to actually get round this massive Hall 5 is by working around it systematically, which is going to take, well, at least until tomorrow. But never mind, we'll make a start. This is the Reliant Owners Club. You can see here they've got a Robin, I think it is. This is a 2000. And yes, that's the way that we feel about the ultra emission zone, isn't it, viewers? That's the reason why we don't talk about diesel on this channel, because the Mayor of London says that we can't, and so do his friends all around the country. So it says it's a 99. It's registered in 2000. Vauxhall Corsa B headlamps. Still got the old mini door handles though, and lots of other things. Butchon apparently finished these in 2001, which is a shame. I think that was it for Relight. Got an earlier one here as well. These rear lights, I think, are off a Mark IV Escort Estate or something. Can't remember now. So yeah, this is on an L, so 1993. My gosh, it's a standard colour. Wow. Two-tone, the top half in cream, the bottom half in green, blue or red. That's crazy. And we've got some more Relights here. We've got an 81 Kit DL. Earlier on we saw Rebel, didn't we? Which was actually at the auction. Kitten, of course, didn't sell particularly well because I think they were the same price and more expensive than the Mini. So, see a bit more space in the Mini though, a lot more space actually. I don't get on to the Minis very much because I find them very uncomfortable, but this looks a bit better. Obviously, someone's been watching the Hubnut channel. And a Scimitar as well. Interesting company, Reliant. You know, they kind of made really small cars, and they also made very expensive sports cars. They made both. That one needs a bit of fiberglass restoration, of course. So it's a 72, 3-litre S6 engine, and the transmission is leaking. That's interesting. There we go, some barn find type aesthetic here with a huge amount of straw. That's going to take a while to clean up, isn't it? We have the Enthusiast of British Motor Vehicles, built before 1985 stand here. And we have a Mini Clubman Estate from 1972. It's obviously in need of restoration because there's no interior in it. Oh, a Facel Vega? Wow. Goodness me. Okay, so it's going up for auction. From 1960. Take a look down here actually. When else am I going to see inside a Facel Vega? There we go. Big Chrysler engine French cars. Unfortunately, the company went under not very long after this one was made. Would have gone under, I think, about 63, if I can remember correctly. And then Ford Granada. Was it a Consul? Let's have a look here. If I was Mr. Coleman, which I'm not, I'll be able to tell you all about that. But of course, I have to look at the information sheet. Oh, okay. So it's it is a Consul. It's not a Granada. We've got to be careful about this sort of thing. Wow, it's a GT. Excellent, like the one in the Sweeney. Going to need some work though. The shell doesn't look too bad. We've got some holes in it there, so we're going to need some welding. But there we go. Rather different is these other cars here. They're the same club. 1967 Mini Super Deluxe. Still got the wavy grille and all that sort of thing. Still got the house-style door handles. This has actually got locks on it. I think some of them didn't even get the locks on the doors. That's obviously had a bit of a refresh, and the rev counter put in there. They're quite useful. All in Austin A90 Atlantic as well. Very nice. It's 1950. That is a beautiful colour. Of course, you've got this little piping on the interior as well. This car is for sale here and now. As Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power Channel says, this could be yours. Right, we visited the Z register stand earlier on, so we'll skip past to the next one. MGF register stand here. Not really sure what year that one is. It's one of the personal plate. They've got just TFs here today, although obviously they do Fs too. TF115 Spark, registered in 2005. I have driven a couple of and GTFs on the channel before, viewers, and an MGF. This one's a 1.6. Now, 1.6 is still perfectly good. They're actually quite fast. Obviously, the 1.8s or 135s and the 160s are a little bit faster than that. This is quite luxurious, actually. One thing you don't seem to get is a passenger airbag, though, which is very strange. This is a later one, so it'll have the standard ABS. The earlier ones didn't actually have standard ABS. So more MG goodness here. The B. To be register. Oh, there we go. Information sheet. 72 MGB GT as featured Classic Car Weekly. Bit of work done there. 1967 mineral blue MGB Roadster. That looks very nice, doesn't it? Wide wheels and everything. We'll go on now to the TR register stand. All the way around systematically. Ooh, Grinnell. Yeah, the Grinnell was like a special body kit for the TR7 and TR8. This one looks like an 8080 registered car, but obviously the kit was available later. Doesn't look too bad, actually. I think someone in the club that I belong to, Test Valley Motor Enthusiasts, actually has a Grinnell as well. That's a TRX, so that's the quick one. Nice TR4 here. That is very nice, isn't it? That's absolutely beautiful. '70th birthday, yes, the TR2 came out in 1953, so happy 70th birthday. There's loads of TRs actually around here, including these. A TR6. And here's Mr. Steve Denton. See, Mr. Steve Denton is an expert on TR6s, aren't you, sir?
Well, I know a bit about them, you know.
You do. I'll just pull this cable up here so I don't actually film you, because you're quite tall, aren't you?
I'm quite tall.
You are?
I'm full height.
Full height, and you full height to fit the TR6?
You do, yeah.
This isn't yours, though, is it?
This isn't my car, this is Mick's car. It's actually quite a unique one. In fact, it's got cruise control.
Get out.
I'm not joking, cruise control. There's a box over there. Works on linkage coming up here. You engage the cruise control down there. Fitted in the 1980s and still works to this day.
What car's this out of? This cruise control?
No.
It's not a Ford, because a Ford would be a different store. But yeah, I mean, you could get it on things like Mark II Granadas, couldn't you? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Triumphs are my thing, so that's what
yeah.
But,
so, what is your channel called, Steve, so people can look it up?
Steve Denton Classics. So you can find me on Steve Denton Classics on Instagram, on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. And of course, you know, I'm a mechanic. I repair these things for a living type thing, so I know I'm inside out. Yeah. So.
And you've got a very nice P6 too.
I've got a very nice P6. It's down there. That maybe later this afternoon you might see me donning the white overalls and working on it.
Yeah, well, I'm here all
around it. So.
I'm here all 3 days, Steve. So
great stuff.
we're in. What are we on? Part 5 now. So probably like part 15. I'll seeing you again.
Fantastic. Look forward to seeing it.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers. Take care.
Good to meet actually people who are proper experts on cars, unlike me, who are just sort of trying to fall over and shuffle around. That's what I do. Anyway, TR6, very nice. TR7. Now, we have had one of these on the channel. I was after one for years, but of course, Great British Car Journey very kindly obliged back in January and let me have a go in theirs at their museum in Derbyshire. This one, I think, is sort of similar to this. It's about the same, 7980. That'd be a late Canley built car, this. First of all, they made them in Speke in Liverpool. Secondly, they made them in Canley, and then finally they made them in Solihull. Actually, this doesn't say 2 litre on it, and it's only got a 4-speed gearbox. That's really strange. The 4 speeds were only available really, really early on, so I don't quite know what's going on with this one actually, and it's got an insurance certificate from France, I think, or something. That's really weird. They bought a completely interesting TR7 to the show. Right, let's go down here, work our way around. So next stand we come to is the MG Car Club stand. There is an MG Owners Club and an MG Car Club. They are different clubs. Another MG TF here. So yeah, 2003, 2004. Limited edition MG TF 135. Bought for £800. Yeah, you can still buy MG TFs for under £1,000, but not necessarily the best condition, of course. Look at this though. 929 MG 1880 Mark 1 Tourer. That is pretty special, isn't it, viewers? That's very nice. Someone's just fully retrimmed the interior as well. Wow. London plate UU. Can't remember who owns it. I've seen this one before. Pre-facelift MG3. Actually, it's the sort of first of the type that was imported. They were started production from knockdown kits in 2013. The very earliest ones are on 13 plates. They're press cars only. This will be a little bit later. It's a pre-2016 car. It's not got a chrome strip on the grille, so it's not a stop-start one. This will be a style model, like the one that we used to have. Unfortunately, the top of the windscreen, particularly on white cars like this, is where they actually start to rust. They are starting to do this now, and it's a real shame. I've got someone else I know who's MG3 starting to do that again. It's a white car, which is a real shame. The paint's only water-based on this, and it does sort of flake off. The MG3 that we used to have was doing that as well, but never mind. They are amazing fun to drive. You can still buy a brand new one, of course, as well, if you want an MG3. Well, this is the other part of the MG Car Club stand. This is the Young Members branch. This car belongs to Captain Reed, who I don't know where he is. He's somewhere around. Yeah, it's a lovely. I think it's actually a 72. This one. We've seen this a lot of time before, and he loves bringing it to the shows, which is understandable. Don't know what's going on with this Rover 25. It is very max power. That's all I can say. Ooh, that's very nice. Another GT, not with a fish mouth grille. This is a bit later. 73. It's an automatic one. Gosh, I don't think I've seen many of these. Obviously, after sports cars, you don't tend to go for an automatic gearbox. Just take a look inside and just have a look at the gear selector. There we go. Gosh, it's so rare to find an automatic MGB. Something else that's rare, and I can see it right now, is the Sunbeam Lotus. I think you're supposed to call them the Talbot Sunbeam Lotus is the way I think you're supposed to call these. I forget now whether actually these had the flush front end, which was on the, I think in 81 they facelifted the Talbot Sunbeam right for the last sort of production year of them, because they weren't made for very long at all. But you could see Lotus engine in this. They started when they made these as 1.6 GL hatches, and then they had the Lotus bits put in them. Prize of the Apprentice Star badge actually lasted quite a lot longer than you'd think. On the Avengers, they never got the Talbot badge at all. They just got they didn't get the Talbot logo. They got a Talbot badge, which is Talbot, but not the actual sort of Talbot logo. Yeah, second one of these we've seen, of course. There's another one actually in this hall. Oh, viewers, I remember very, very well the Avenger 1.6 that I drove at the Great British Car Show. It's a Chrysler model, like this one is. But this one's not got the standard engine in it. Oh no, not at all. It's got a BRM cylinder head on it. That will be quite fast here. It's a bit faster than the standard 1.6. Although the Avengers are very, very nice cars to drive. They are absolutely lovely. So what's that? 76, 77. Yeah, that makes sense. And then This is a Hillman Avenger, a bit of an earlier one, and it's a two-door. I can't remember how many of the two-doors they made actually after they became Chryslers. I forget now. I don't think they were as popular, but this looks great, doesn't it? This looks fantastic. Oh, it's a GT. Fantastic. Yeah, 1600 GT. So yeah, you can see as well that when they became the Chryslers, they had different rear lights. It's really strange because you can see the actual wings are different. Why they actually have this design with the caps, I don't really know. It's a mystery really, but obviously this does look a bit better, this rear. This looks fine, but I think that looks better. And another Sunbeam here, this will be on a Y, so one of the very last ones, an 82 registered car, having a bit of restoration. I'll have this flush front end. Ooh, it smells of, I don't know, something. And another Avenger shell here as well. But probably with that steering wheel will be the earlier Hillman type. Definitely not the later one. It's funny, there's still rotted out there. More roots stuff here from an earlier era, the Sunbeam Alpine Owners Club. This will be a very late one. That'll be a Series 5 of 1725cc engine. So it'll be 67, I should think. I think they stopped making them in 67, so it'll be one of the very last ones. 65 Mark 1 Sunbeam Tiger with a Ford engine. Obviously when Chrysler started to take a stake in the Roots Group from 64 onwards, it wasn't a great look to have a Ford V8 in your cars. So they did actually eventually discontinue the Tigers. It's a shame because they're fantastic. Another 1725 Alpine here. Again a 67 with the hard top. I imagine these would be pretty nice to drive actually. And then this is a Series 4, so this is before the 1725 came out. 64 registration, this one. It's pretty nice. Yeah, but it's definitely something I'd take a go in actually. And another Hillman Super Mix. Another barn find. That one at the auction, that was a barn find as well, wasn't it? The convertible needed a restoration. This Super Mix was involved in an accident and purchased for restoration in the 70s. The vehicle had some work done, the engine was removed and untouched. Wow, is it going to move? It's checking the floor there to make sure it's actually got a floor. Has it actually got a floor? Possibly, I can't really see. It's interesting, isn't it? The wing's been taken off because of the accident. Oh, and here's a late Minx, late Audax series. It's a Series 5, yeah, so this will be 65. I think they stopped in 67 when they made way for the Arrow type Minx. Saved from Banger Race, excellent. Didn't realise these were popular in Banger Race. So you've got a new boot lid and things, that's all ready to go. Needs a bit of paint and stuff, but it's not too bad, is it? And then we have Singer Chamois Mark II. I think the Mark IIs came in at 65, and this is, I think, a 66. Yes, it is. Somebody has breathed on that engine a bit. Maybe the information sheet will tell me if that's anything more than the 875. I think it is. You could get a 998 from the factory, but they're quite rare. The Imp that I drove, which is 72, was, I think, on the same plate as it was on a K. It didn't have the wheels like this. It's a very rich car journey. If you want to have a go in it yourself, you can go and have a look at it. This has been, it's a bit modified, I think. It's a bit more super than a standard Super Imp. It always gets to me how far the engine's canted over in the back of these. It looks like a nice standard car. Yeah, 74. And this is been restored. Excellent. Very nice. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching part 5 of Slightly Shambolic Shuffle around the 2023 Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video in the comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more incorrect information.